So the last thing we need to worry about is the reflections. So if you had the whole time x squared has been positive. So we have f of x to be x squared. This thing's positive right here. This is a positive one. It goes up. When f of x is now, in this sense, you can kind of, a negative x squared, it goes down. You got to kind of be aware of that. This one goes down. Why? Because you plug in your x, you square it, and then it says take it to become a negative. And this, remember, your y is now a negative whatever you got, and it makes it go down. So real quick, you can have 2x squared. This one goes up. Okay? If I have a negative 2x squared, this one goes down. Now, this is opens up. This is opens down. Do here, guys. Copy this down real quick. We're going to practice real fast, and then you have, we're going to move on to the next chapter, the next section of the chapter. We're going to jump from 9.3 to 9.5. 9.5 is the quadratic formula. I can't tell you how to approach that one. I can't tell you to remember it, because you can if you want to, or you can kind of just realize it's going to be provided for you in the reference material. So let's look at this one, guys. Copy that down real quick. Do any of you have any questions, guys? Can you all hear me? How about that? Can you all hear me? Cool. Thank you, Jasmine. Have you done this before, Jasmine, on Alex already or no? Have any of y'all seen the quadratic formula on the Alex? You know, because Alex is individual. That's by yourself. It works with you individually. I guess I need to talk to you about Alex, guys. So I think y'all should be done with this. Please make sure you know, for every week, you're going to go from Monday through Thursday. To Thursday. So this is Friday from the week before. Let me explain to you, I guess, with my calendar down here. Man, it takes it off. So I'm just going to have to point to it like this, okay? So from this Friday, guys, all the way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 7 days, you have to do Alex, which is 1 hour and 15 topics. Just by one weird thought, if you want to think about it, for 1 week you didn't do it. You just didn't do Alex. That's fine, I forgive you. Wi-Fi problems, you probably had problems at your house, computer out, I don't know, maybe your brother or sister used the computer more than you. Then the next week, remember, for this 1 week, you have to have 1 hour, 15 topics. The next week, say you didn't do it. The next week, just to do 2 hours and 30 topics. And I'll make it up for you, okay? Now, I want to tell you this much. The hours and the time, I don't think you're going to have time getting, problems getting those. You will get those, because all your assignments, everything you do is from Alex. You'll get the time. You just need to get the topics, guys. You need to make sure you get the topics. That's a free, easy grade. If you don't do the topics, that's going to be, like, the highest grade you can get in my class is probably a 90-ish. If you want to get a 95 plus, you need to be doing this stuff. You need to be doing your Alex. Okay, so if you miss a week, just come back and redo it. Let me see. Let's come back over here now. Let's look at this one real quick. This is going to say, hey, can you graph this thing? Now, make sure you know, this part right here, guys, is what makes it go up or down. If it's negative, it goes down. Understand that? That's it. Really simple. This one is a y-intercept, makes it move down. So you slide it down. Since this one is negative, let me zoom out so you can see both. Since this first part is negative, it goes down. This y-intercept makes it go down 3 units. This 2 is greater than 1 as far as the absolute value, so it stretches it vertically. Cool. Again, this part makes it go down because it's negative, because of this negative part right here. This one over here is kind of sneaky. This one's really sneaky. This one over here, if you look at this one, says a negative 2 and the x is squared. This one over here says a negative 2x squared. So what is this really right here? Does that make sense? So this one right here secretly is a positive, makes it go up. This one right here is also greater. The a right here is greater than 1, so it makes it get slim. or vertically stretched. Positive 1 makes it slide up 1. And there it is. Going once, going twice, to make it long step. Okay, so let me move this one over here. Let's do these 3 real quick, and we're done. We're done for this section. So look at this one real quick. Ready? This one's sneaky, sneaky. I'm going to work this one out. And y'all help me out with this one, and you do this one, y'all. Now, if you freak out in all of this madness, guys and girls, you can go ahead and graph it in the calculator. Like, there's nothing wrong with using a calculator. It's not cheating. So the parent function, I guess I'll do the parent function in blue. It goes like this, right? And it goes to 1, 1, and to negative 1, 1. It goes through there. Do you see this one right here? Do you see how the whole thing is squared? So this is really 2x squared minus 9. It's just trying to make you read it, understand what's going on, trying to make you read this stuff. So as far as this part, I know it's opening up, and I know it's more narrow than this one. So it would be something like this. But this one makes it slide down. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And make it more narrow than this parent function. How do y'all think about that one? What do y'all think? How do you think? What do you think about it? Okay, it's not too bad, right? We've been doing this for like the 3rd day already. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, it gets easier, I promise you. Guys, this is like everything, just practice, practice, practice. You know, makes perfect. Let's go and try 5b. Now, 5b, I'm going to go ahead and graph the parent function. Now, if you get it wrong, guys, no big deal. We're going to practice. If you notice, I haven't taught to the STAR test. I have not been saying, hey, this is that type of question you're going to get. No, they're pretty easy. They're not too bad, STAR test, once you know what to do. Once you start to see them on the STAR test questions, you're going to make it so easy. And yes, and then I'll show you how or what they're trying to ask you, how they try to ask you, and I'll show you how they try to trick you too. Okay, do me a favor, guys. Copy it on down. Try it on your own. See what you get, what you think. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Look at these. I did not make it nice and perfect. No, we can do it. Make más o menos in it. Okay, can anybody take control? What's the first thing that pops out at me? What's the first thing that I know? Does it go up or does it go down? How about this? Does it open up or does it open down? This is open up. This is open down. Jasmine, Tristan, good job. It does open down because of this negative right here. With the x squared, that negative makes it open down. Perfect. You know what? I'm going to change color. I don't know why I didn't change color. So this part makes it open down. Perfect. Now this one right here, 1/5. Tristan, 1/5. Wider or narrower? Jasmine, good job, brother. You got it. Now it goes wider and it's opening down. Anybody knows what this 3 does over here? What does that 3 do? Okay, if nobody knows, it just slides it up 3 units. 1, 2, it slides the vertex up. So from there, I graph it like that. There it is. Thank you, Louis. Make it up 3 times. Yes, perfect. Awesome, awesome. Okay, do 5C all on your own. Do 5C all on your own. Let's go. Now remember, you can do this on the calculator. If you're doing the calculator, it's not cheating. Don't even worry about it. That's the way it's intended to be, you know, a part of you, an extension of you. Okay, so let's come out here. The first thing I'm going to do is graph the parent function. Parent function goes like this. If you did it right, guys, this is what you should have done. This one slides it right, 1. This one slides it down, 2. That's my vertex. This now makes it open down and more narrow. What do y'all think in that sense? Did you all get that? It's not too bad, right? It's once you've got to recognize this, guys, on the STAR test that is written in this form. If it's not written like that, turn on the calculator, guys. Sometimes in the test we forget all these little things that we know. Hey, if you forget, don't worry about it. Just turn on the calculator and use it. Question on that one, guys and girls. How do we feel, all right? Hey, where did I go? Did I go too far? There it is. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump to the section where we're going to have 9, 5 and use the quadratic formula. Okay, so the quadratic formula, guys, is very easy. It's a formula, so you don't have to remember it. It's basically given to you in your reference material in the beginning of the STAR test. Do you use it every year? It does come out in the STAR test, but you got to understand. This is really, if you think about this, the solutions. What does a solution mean? Anybody remember what a solution means? Does anybody remember what a solution means? There's 4 words for a solution. Root, x-intercept, 0, and solve, right? So you have those options. But this time, sometimes they're going to give you answers, and it looks like this. And you're like, what? Well, punch that number in the calculator. Punch this whatever you see in the calculator, and you're going to get a number. And then check if that's your solution, your x-intercept, your root, your 0. Check if it's the same number, and then you got it. So here we go, ready? We're going to solve quadratic equations by using, again, we're going to solve quadratic equations by solving, or by using the quadratic formula. Again, solve x-intercept 0 solution. Use a discriminant to determine the number of solutions of the quadratic equation. We probably won't do that one, because if you have to graph it to find the answer, you can go ahead and see there's 1, 2, or 3 answers, or whatever answer. Okay, so the quadratic formula is right here. The solutions of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0, are given by the quadratic formula. Wait, what is this? X equals, oh, they're saying my x-intercept, right? So therefore, copy this down. Okay, right in this situation, guys, you need to understand that the formula is written in ax squared plus bx plus c. The number by the x squared is your a. The number by the by the x is your b. The number by itself, the constant, is your c. You had to set up in that formula or that situation to figure out how to use the formula. Okay, so when it comes out here, I see this and I don't see it, what, set equal to 0, right? So I'm going to do that. Add the 20 to both sides, and it winds up giving me this formula right here. Guys, you can graph this. Don't forget, you can graph it. If you want to use the quadratic formula, this is what you do. Now, remember the formula says, it's right here, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, think about this real quick. B comes from the middle term that is by the x, right? So that's going to be a what kind of number? What is that thing right there? It's a negative 12. So anywhere you have the b, you paste it with a negative 12. Anywhere you have, plus or minus square root of b squared, we took care of that, minus 4ac, 4 times a times c. 4 times a is 1, c is 20. 120, all over 2a. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in here exactly the way I would do it if I was working it out. I'm just showing you this is how the book came up with this stuff. This is the 1, this is a negative 12, this is a 20. So b is now a negative 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is a negative 12 squared, minus 4 times 1 times c, 20, all over 2 times a, which is 1. And that's it. Really simple. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. You can type all this in the calculator. Or you can, sometimes you don't want to type it in there because sometimes it's going to be weird. So you want to clean up the work, the mathness. You see this right here? What does that give me? It gives me a positive 12. Plus or minus the square root of. This right here gives me a negative 12 squared is 144. Minus this, all of this gives me 4 times 1 is 4 times 20, 80. All over 2. Let me get lost what I've done. All over 2. Next thing is I'm going to have 12 plus or minus. I'm saying plus or minus because there's 2 answers here. Basically, this thing crosses like this. 2 places, plus or minus. Oh, we're going to see if it does. You'll see right now what I mean. Square root 144 minus 80. Anybody know what 144 minus 80 is? That 64? Yeah, right? All over 2. Okay, do we know what the answer is? Square root of 184. It's basically 8 times 8, right? So we're going to have 12 plus or minus 8 all over 2. Oh yeah, it cleans up. It's cleaning up very nice and neat. So now here, you can say you have 2 things. 12 plus 8 over 2 or 12 minus 8 over 2. And this is basic math. Basic math. Right here is 20 over 2, also known as 10. Here is 4 over 2, known as 2. So in all this madness, we have this thing crossing at 1, 2, going like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then came back up through 10. Can you use the quadratic formula? Yes. Can you use the graphing? Yes. Sky's the limit how you want to do it. So there's the work they did. All the work, 12 squared, 144 minus this, 80, 64. Now the square root of 64 is 8. Now it becomes a minus 8 plus 8, 2, and 10. Questions over that one? Is it hard? Nah, it's pretty easy. Let's try one. Ready? So we're going to solve this one by using the quadratic formula. Remember, the formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, guys, are y'all there with me? Y'all ready to try this one? Y'all need to have a calculator. You know what? I'm going to get my phone because I don't even know where my calculator is at. So I'm going to try my calculator. Make sure it's going to be ready to go ahead and be in the calculator mode. Don't be freaking out. You can do it. Okay, got my calculator ready. So let's plug this in here. Hey, wait. This is not ready. I want to have 2x squared plus 9x equals to 18. No, and the one they tell me I need to have it as 0. Because I'm finding the 0. I'm finding the intercept. I'm finding the solution. I'm finding the root. So I need to subtract 18. Subtract 18. These cancel out, give me the equal to 0 that I want, and I have 2x squared plus 9x minus 18 equals 0, and now it works out. Now it's set equal to 0. Do I try something cool or not? What do y'all think? Tell me like this. So, you know what? No, it's not going to work. Okay, so make sure you identify A is going to be 2, B is going to be 9, and C is going to be negative 18. Y'all agree? A, B, C. A is 9. Yeah, it works out. So let me plug it in here. I'm going to have a negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 9 squared minus 4 times 1, 2. C, negative 18. All over 2 times, what's A? A is 2. There it goes. Y'all okay with this one, guys? Y'all freaking out? Your silence is cool. Negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 81. Whoa, what's this right here? Okay, I'll tell you this much. A negative times a negative gives me a plus. What's this? I can't do this in my head. This is 36 times 4, right? 24, 12, 13, 14. So then we're going to have negative, all over 4. So we have negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 225 all over 4. Not too bad. What else does that become? Shoot. Anybody know the square root of 225? All right, so it's just testing you. Good job. So this part now, you see I'm kind of ran out of room. I'm going to come bring it up here if you don't mind. So I'm going to have negative 9 plus or minus 15. This part right here. The square root of 225 is 15. Okay. Now, when I have this part, it's still all over 4. So this turns out into, the book did subtraction first. So I'll do what the book did. Minus 15 over 4. And we have a negative 9 plus a 15 over 4. These right here give me a negative 24 over 4. Negative 6. This right here gives me 16. No, wait, 6 over 4. Also known as 3/2. So those are my zeros. Those are my x-intercepts. Those are my solutions. Those are my roots. What do y'all think, guys? Not too bad, right? Do you have any questions there? Anybody get lost there? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, that's actually where we should finish off because that's 1 minute to the bell. I'm going to cover one more just to make sure you understand how it's going. So using the quadratic formula, it's just round to the nearest tenth. I'm going to identify, in my opinion, like here they did, A to be 3, B to be 5, and then C to be a negative 12. The formula says this. Plug in the B where it goes, the A where it goes, and the C where it goes. And it gives you this. And just do the math slowly. Do this math slowly. It's not like hard squaring, square roots, all that stuff. Pretty easy. Negative 5 becomes a negative 5. Plus or minus, 5 squared, 25. Negative 4 times a 3 times a negative 12 gives me 144. Then that stuff gives me 169 underneath. 2 times 3 is 6. Then that becomes negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 169 slash 13. Don't forget, this becomes 13. So now we're down to here, and we're going to break it up into the minus, negative 5 minus 13 over 6. And then here we have the negative 5 plus 13 over 6. So these are my roots, my solutions, my zeros. Questions about that, guys? If you don't have any questions, well, that's your lesson for today. We'll see you. Be safe. God bless. Have a good lunch, guys.